There is a record in the Cosmic Field Archive that no one claims to have uploaded. No origin signature, no classification tag, no author. It simply appeared. Inside, it was a single line. The war cannot be remembered without restarting it. At first, archivists assumed it was corrupted data, but the file was not broken. It was complete, as if the rest of its contents had been deliberately removed from reality itself. And so began the investigation into what is now known as the war that erased itself. The first confirmed evidence came from a remote survey fleet operating beyond the Perseus boundary. Their mission was routine: map uncharted systems, log planetary bodies, catalog anomalies. But when they entered Sector 729K, they found something unexpected. Entire star systems had been reduced to silence. No transmissions, no heat signatures of civilization, no active satellites, only ruins. Massive, structured ruins that could not have formed naturally. Orbital rings still encircling dead worlds. Megastructures broken mid-orbit. Planetary surfaces scorched into glass. At first, analysts assumed this was the aftermath of a known extinction event, but no known war matched this scale. And more importantly, no known enemy matched the damage patterns. It was as if something had destroyed these civilizations without leaving a trace of its identity. As more systems were surveyed, something even stranger emerged. The same destruction pattern appeared everywhere. But every archive contained the same gap: military databases, corrupted at the section describing the enemy, historical records, missing references to opposing forces, cultural memory archives, blank spaces where enemy names should have been. Even mythological records behaved the same way. Entire civilizations described the war, but never described who it was against. One historian described it like this: "It is as if every civilization agreed to describe the same fire without ever mentioning what was burning." The probability of identical missing data across unrelated species was considered impossible until a deeper phenomenon was discovered. The gap was not random, it was targeted. The turning point came when a damaged probe was recovered near a collapsed neutron star. Inside its memory core was a fragmented transmission, repeated over and over. "Do not remember them. Do not remember them. Do not..." Then silence. Researchers initially dismissed it as psychological contamination in machine learning systems. But then they noticed something unusual. The message was not just in audio logs. It appeared in sensor logs, navigation records, even raw telemetry, as if the probe itself had been instructed to forget. This introduced a new theory. The war was not just physical, it was informational. A conflict fought inside memory itself. Further exploration revealed entire regions labeled by analysts as the Silent Front. These were not battlefields in the traditional sense. They were contradictions, defensive structures built facing nothing, weapon arrays locked onto empty coordinates, fleet formations preserved in attack posture, without targets. One system contained a ring of fortress moons surrounding a planet. Each fortress faced outward into space, but scans revealed no approaching enemy vectors, no invasion paths, no gravitational disturbances. It looked like preparation for a war that never arrived, or one that had already been removed from perception. Even more disturbing were the ships, entire fleets drifting intact. Power systems still active, weapons still charged, but targeting systems displayed a single value: null. No enemy identifiers existed, not even corrupted data, just absence. At this stage, scientific consensus fractured into competing theories. The most controversial proposal came from cognitive warfare researchers. They suggested the possibility of a weapon that does not destroy matter, but destroys the ability to remember what matters. Not mind control, not illusion, erasure, selective deletion of cause, identity, and history. If such a weapon existed, it would create a paradox. You could win every battle and still not remember who you fought. Worse still, if both sides possessed it, then each attempt to erase the enemy would also erase the memory of erasing them. A self-correcting loop of mutual oblivion. A war that collapses under its own victory condition. The most important discovery was made in a frozen system orbiting a dead star. Deep beneath the surface of a moon, explorers uncovered a sealed archive. Unlike previous ruins, this one was intact, preserved, protected. Inside were millions of records, entire libraries of war documentation. At first, researchers believed they had finally found answers, but every file shared the same flaw. They all stopped at the same point, not due to damage, but due to absence. Every document described preparation for contact. Every log described escalating conflict. Every record reached the same moment, and then stopped. One file became infamous across research institutions. A commander's final log. We now confirm the enemy is located at coordinates. And then nothing. No continuation. No corruption. Just completion without resolution. It was as if reality itself refused to allow the enemy to be named. Modern interpretations suggest something far more disturbing. What if the war is not over? What if it is still happening? At the level of perception? Every time a researcher gets close to identifying the missing entity, the data becomes inconsistent. Names shift, coordinates vanish. Entire datasets reorganize themselves into meaninglessness. It is as if the universe resists being remembered. Some theorists now believe the war is not a historical event. It is an ongoing defensive mechanism, a system designed to prevent recognition of something that cannot be safely understood. Across the galaxy, ruins remain. Fleets still drift. Fortresses still point toward empty space. And archives still exist, filled with stories no one can complete. The war is not remembered, but its consequences are everywhere. And perhaps that is the final truth. Not that the war was forgotten, but that something ensured it would never be remembered in the first place. And if that is true, then the silence surrounding it is not the absence of history. It is the result of something still listening.